I'm doing well. How about you all?
Doing excellent.
So we're glad you're at least on care.
Yeah, my kids they're in football right now. They have practice in the afternoon, so yes.
Okay. Alrighty, you ready to get started? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. This is an open meeting conducted in person and by video conference. Citizens, city staff, and city council are encouraged to participate in the meeting by video conference in order to allow the city to follow the CDC social distancing guidelines in an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Pursuant to Section 551 of the Texas Government Code, notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Red Oak Park and Recreation Commission being held Tuesday, October 19, 2021. Time is 7:06 p.m. in the Ronald Reagan Room at the Red Oak Municipal Center, 200 Lakeview Parkway, Red Oak, Texas. And by video conference as authorized by Section 551.127 of the Texas Government Code, at which time the following will be discussed and considered. And I do call the meeting to order. I do declare a quorum present. Jenny Lindsay's present. Chappelle White is on video conference. Joanne Smith present. Maria Dowdy present. Paul Kelly present. Olivia Coleman is present. We do have one visitor, and we have an IT person. I do declare notices have been legally posted to the Open Meetings Act. We'll have the invocation and pledge of allegiance. We'll please stand. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for being able to have us all be able to come together healthy and in good shape. And thank you for all of the things that you have given us and the opportunities you'll be giving us in the future. Please guide us as we go through the information and so that we make the best decisions for the community. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Maria. We don't have any presentations. Citizens to be heard. Ma'am, would you like to make any comments? Nothing? Okay. New business open section. Consideration of the following Park and Recreation Commission to consider and approve minutes from August and September meeting, please.
They're at the back of your packet.
I know on the September 21st ones, we will have to correct 5B, just to correct so that it's gonna be here. Whenever I'll entertain a motion for August.
I move that we accept the August Parks Board agenda. Communication. Okay.
I'll have a second.
I don't have a copy of it, so I don't know.
Huh?
I don't have a copy of it.
Oh, you don't have a copy of this August? You have a copy of September?
Mm-mm.
You need one.
August.
I know, I was looking at you, I just had to think of the name.
One second.
Okay, motion made by Maria, second by, Joanne Smith to approve meeting minutes as written, August 17th meeting. All in favor? Any opposed? Chappelle, how you voting?
In favor.
Okay, thank you. 4-0.
Can we motion that we approve, September with the, changing of 5D
Yeah,
to Lindsay Park, to, Pearson Park.
okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
Motion
Second.
made by Joanne, second by Maria. Only correction was 5B for changing from Texas State Technical College to Pearson Park. All in favor? Aye. Bill?
Aye. You can't hear me?
Yep. Can now.
Okay.
Any opposed? Passes 4-0. Okay, thank you. Next thing on the agenda will be the discussion of the fall festival. Kyle?
The Fall Festival will be here in Pearson Park, Saturday from 3 to 7. Currently, the list of vendors is very slim compared to what we were hoping to have, and the layout has been set up. We do have the Oaksters coming, and they want to man the game area. We have candy booths, some trunk or treaters, free food vendors. NTTA is going to be giving away free ice cream as part of their promotion. And we'll have the Lions Club having the costume contest on the back patio. And pretty much the event, everything here will be set up by the Parks Department. So what we were asking from the Parks and Recreation Commission to show up and 30 minutes before the event, we come through and take a look at everything, make sure everything is what we're wanting it to be as far as our setup, and then we'll have y'all a booth set up where the candy, there's 250 bags that will have the candy free stuff in there from the candy that we've received. There'll be a few coupons in there, some other written documents in there for the people. If we have any come up, like from the Oaks, if they bring any pamphlets or flyers, we will drop those in at that time. But we would ask that the commission see the smiling faces of the kids when they come up, and then that way we can pass out the 250 bags. And I do hope that we have more kids than we have bags, although that's Unfortunate for some kids, it's a good thing for us when we have that many attending, but Saturday is an extremely busy day.
Yes.
And a lot of the things that we've been seeing from other cities, there's been several other events canceled, including an event from Mansfield and an event in Midlothian. So,
Wow.
and both people that were involved there, the director of Midlothian told me, he said that they experienced too many people, not enough volunteers, and not enough of the vendors, wanting to participate
Yeah.
on that day, so they just decided, last Wednesday, just pull the plug and say, we're done.
Wow.
And so Mansfield had an event going on over at Field of Dreams, and same thing with that, just lack of response from the community, lack of response from the vendors that they'd asked to participate, so they decided it would be better to not have the event at all.
Were there vendors saying why they weren't gonna participate?
Can't get any workers.
Real Producers is going on, and the vendors we actually met at the fall festival last year, almost half of them all are at Real Producers this year. And most of the ones we contacted that would be new for this year already booked Real Producers. So,
Yeah.
they already guaranteed, because Real Producers date was released so early, they already had signed up for it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's all right. We're trucking on.
I think the event's gonna be okay, it's just not probably what we would hope for in one of our events.
Yeah.
So we probably will consider that next year and the dates and times and everything like that. I think our time is okay, it's the dates. And, you know, we looked at going to the 30th, and if we did that, we kind of considered a week and a half ago moving into another day, possibly the 30th, and then we would lose more people
Yeah.
than we've already lost on the 30th due to other events at that time, including the fact it seems like most churches this year are having some sort of either the candy fest down at the Oaks or some sort of a Halloween gathering at their churches on the 30th.
On the 30th, that's true. I agree. Yep. It's a busy day. So, yeah. Okay. Please wear your shirt, whether you want to wear your long sleeve or short sleeve.
I thought we were dressing in costume.
Or are we dressing in costume?
Either or.
Did we want to do,
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah,
Either or? Okay, either or. Oh, shoot. Alrighty. You may have to help me, Joanne. Yes, ma'am?
My question was, you said a lot of the places that canceled their event. Any of those vendors that were part of those events, any chance of them coming over here?
We would not even ask for their list.
We cold called / emailed probably 40 people, between vendors, food vendors, and different people, and not even half of them would respond.
Okay.
Yeah, there was calls and emails both put out. We made an attempt to call out when we emailed and then called, and we had, what was the one guy that he was so hot to go, and then all of a sudden he just backed out, and
We had about 5 to 7 people in general, ranging from food trucks to just wanting to be a part of it, reach out to Kyle or myself, and I think one of them actually signed up and followed through. The rest of them completely kind of either stopped responding, or this one guy, just decided it wasn't worth his time, even though he reached out to us about it, so.
yeah, he was very, he was ready 2 months ago, and so as soon as we had everything decided, we got back with him, and then it just went forward.
Well, you know, I know one of the things that's hurt us too is that Bob Phillips, it's the 25th annual Bob Phillips Festival down in Waxahachie, so, you know, that's something too, so, anyway, but we can't satisfy, and who knows, maybe some of those vendors will show up over here. We never know. You know, and if they do, perfect. If not, oh well. They're lost. So, we'll have fun. We'll have a good time. All is good. Okay, any questions, concerns? Maria, coming here?
No, only thing is I can't make it because I have to go out of town for a funeral. My aunt passed, so I won't be there Saturday, but I'll be there in spirit.
I'm so sorry. I swallowed my mint. So sorry. I'm sorry of your loss. Anything I can do for you, Michelle?
I'm okay, but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm leaving to go to Minneapolis actually tomorrow.
Okay. Well, no, you've got for going with you. You're gonna be here?
I have a commitment till 4 p.m., but as soon as that's wrapped up, I'll line you over here.
Okay, perfect. Yes. I'll be here. Joanne will be here. You'll be here. You gonna bring Papa with you?
I'm gonna guilt him into it.
Okay. I wish we could come up with more participants, but I don't know. Everybody good? Okay. Discuss and must make final decisions on, related to the Christmas parade, December 4th. Everybody look at your agenda, you can see, parade at 10, festivities following, events ending by 2. Right? Go ahead.
Okay, the Winter Wonderland was the theme that we discussed at the previous meeting, so we're gonna just stick with that.
Okay.
Parade route will be the regular general parade route that's already been,
Down Red Oak Road.
yes ma'am.
I figured.
It's got the approval of the fire and police department, so that emergency action plan is in place for that.
Okay.
We'll meet with them, or I will during the next coming weeks to discuss and make sure that they have no issues with the previous routes that were used.
Okay.
Currently, we need to begin advertising for vendors and food, or anybody who wants to participate, not only in the parade, but also in the event after, following the parade.
Uh-huh.
So if anybody has any suggestions, recommendations on that, now would be the time to speak up, because we're going to have all the documentation going out as soon as possible, so that way we can begin lining up. Hopefully we can have a pretty good parade. Parade time is a little bit off from normal. I believe in the past it was done later in the afternoon, almost evening time. And so this will hopefully be better attended than what we're having for what I'm foreseeing right now with the Saturday's event. One of the things too is we'd like to try to bolster the parade by actually contacting and visiting with individual groups, maybe some groups that we've never reached out to before outside of the community that would want to come and celebrate the time of year festivities with us. The Parks guys are going to be working on a float trailer that will be somewhere near probably closer to the rear of the parade. And with that will be the snow machine that will be blowing snow as we go down the road with Santa coming up behind them. We've got the snow machine out today. I've kind of demonstrated to Olivia how it works. So we've kind of starting to feel a little more comfortable with its operation. So we feel like we can use the machine earlier in the morning in some areas and with some of the drier, longer lasting material.
Okay.
Well, actually we use the wetter, that's a little bit longer, and then the dry material we use during the parade makes a finer looking, flake and has a tendency to float a lot further. So we had flakes today that were, when we did the fine flakes, they were probably 100 yards. Good wind, but it was blowing about 100 yards down behind the building.
Cool.
One thing to note is on here, the SNAM, the Red Oak band has already agreed to sign up to participate in everything, but they were told it started at 11 a.m. We just need to confirm if we want to start at 10 or start at 11 and go to 2.
Okay, because I have here on my notes, it says 11, and that may be incorrect. Did you recall what time you want to go?
Leo?
We did, I know we discussed it both ways. For some reason, I've got 11 to 3 on my notes.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, and
that's what's in the meeting minutes, 11 to 3.
so were they told at 11 or 10?
They were told 11.
Okay, that's what we'll stay at then.
11 to 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Generally, I guess with the event, we anticipate people, 2 o'clock begins to fall off of people. So,
So that's 11 to 3.
in past years, who was Santa Claus and how did that work?
We always had a Santa and Mrs. Claus, and sometimes they had their elves with them. We did not have him the last time. We had somebody else.
Let me see if Jeff can do it, unless he's working that day. Because him and, Hope had bought their costumes.
Oh, yeah, okay. That'd be great. If not, I'll call the guy I normally call, but we had a different Santa last time, not last year, because we didn't have anything last year. That's what I mean.
So who did, in 2019, I vaguely remember, there was a lot of folks with their kids wanting to get their pictures taken with Santa.
Yeah.
What was who was the photographer and how did that work?
Their parents.
Their parents, they just, we put up a backdrop
Are you off December the 4th?
and the gazebo
Oh, we need a Santa Claus.
and the white wicker chairs and the little table. We
For the Christmas
had for
tree.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and
You guys do what?
the kids came up, and then if the parents wanted to get a picture, they took a picture. Some were very quick though, some were not. But we try to keep moving along.
Okay.
Jeff said he has enough annual leave, he'll just take off.
Perfect. What about her?
She didn't work on Saturday.
Oh, so we can do a Mr. and Mrs.?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect, we got
She hasn't
Mr.
met yet, but I'll tell her.
Well, that's what happened. Marrying the family. Like you with the family, might as well do all the family stuff. Come on. So, Mr. and Mrs. Santa's taken care of. We normally contact Brookshires or somebody, to get the candy cane, the small candy cane donated.
Or the cookies. I think last year it was cookies.
Yeah,
They're
because
not
we asked so late.
I was so told to just respond to already prepackaged.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, we could even look on Oreo Trading here or whatever and even order them out of there.
Candy cane is just individually sealed, it might be more acceptable to people. It's open, things nowadays.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah, we'll have to get the
Yeah,
smaller.
if they can, we've actually got a located a source for candy canes, and we found some fairly good deals on they're medium size, they're not the tiny ones, but they're not real big either.
They either,
They're about, I think they're 5.5 inches long, so they're
perfect.
decent size.
Can we go ahead and order them?
How many do you want?
How many did we get? Love that.
Probably at least 150, let's say.
Oh, at least, what, do you know, is there a category? Yeah, but I can't say that word. The least amount you can order.
Okay.
Is there, no, is
Oh,
there?
it comes in a 144 to a case. I think
You know, we can get.
you get 3 cases, and I think we can give them away.
Oh, yeah, you can pass them out, you know, because they throw candy off the.
But I wanna make sure that that your setup, where you're gonna be, y'all can hand those out if you like. That's what you want. That and anything else that we can work into that, whether that be some coloring books or, there's some other options that we were trying to get answers for today, but it was just so busy we couldn't get everything done.
Well,
We would like to give y'all something for the kids, not to hand to them from the commission, not only a candy cane, but also some sort of other.
A little bag.
Not necessarily a bag, but it just something else to go with it, whether that be
Mini stocking,
I'm sorry?
a mini stocking.
Yeah, or a mini stocking, that was the other thing, they have mini stockings, and we put that in there, so we were trying to find out how we could group that together, so that way, at the event, y'all are kind of getting to draw the people in, get to visit with them and everything, and hand out the candies to the kids.
We're gonna do the stockings that we give away?
Well, and I think we need to discuss that, because Kyle doesn't know.
Okay, we usually get, I buy stockings that are about this big.
Okay.
And I go to Dollar Tree, and you have to go with me. And I spend about $200-something on stuff, and I stuff them, and we give them away. We give 0, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So that's 4 stockings for girls and 4 stockings for boys. And we have a drawing.
Okay.
They have to come by and register, and we have tubs that they put them in. And then we, just have somebody draw the name and announce it.
Do win, or we?
No,
Oh, okay.
because I called a bunch of them back. They came back up and picked them up, or they, a couple of them came up here.
Okay, perfect.
You know, you don't have to go stop there with me, but you just come up to and pay for it.
Okay.
But I am telling you, I mean, even if those little stockings, like what you guys were talking about, if we can order those.
Yeah. I'm not even sure how big they are. I don't think they're both, maybe they're.
Well, they have mini stockings that are about this big.
No, these are like, it'd be like a party favor type bag, like, you go to a kid's birthday party and you walk away, just walk away like a favor. That's kind of like what these bags are supposed to be, you kind of stuff them. It's not mini, but it's not big.
Okay.
So that would be something for all the kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right.
And then some of the ones, they're gonna get some special love and attention, big ones.
Yeah, you know, but at least that would draw. And we always, have Christmas cards, because we have people come and sign Christmas cards and take them, and then we take them over to Veterans Hospital.
Okay.
And that's another thing that we do. And then the other one
You don't have a coloring contest or anything?
we have had just not a contest, but just things for the kids to color and stuff, but, we didn't do that last year, or the last time we had it done. We didn't do that. We had enough going on with everything else,
Of course,
so.
we had the bounce houses and stuff too.
Yeah, we always have the bounce houses and I know, but I can't wait to start working on Christmas for next year.
Do we do like a Christmas, a letter to Santa collection box somewhere? like a mailbox?
No, but that's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
If you're okay with that, we'll set that up and then, try to do a response or whatever to the kids, whether it be a canned response or get to write back to some of them or something like that, then we'll try that.
Yeah, I mean, we could set up a table that they could maybe write a letter or whatever, I don't know.
From the table to the pavilion.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of it's gonna depend on the weather. What's the weather?
It's gonna be 48 degrees that day.
Well, you know, if it's real cold, that's okay.
It's the wind.
If it's raining and all that stuff, then that's not good, but anyway. So, okay, we have talked to who? We've talked to the band.
Yeah. The band was the one that was dictating the parade because, you know, they have competition that time of year, and we had to make sure that they were available and the time was good. So we're set with the band, and then we're going to build out from there.
Okay, please make sure that you contact the middle school, because they have middle school high steppers, and they have, or junior high, I'm sorry, not middle school, junior high. They have the junior high and high stepper program, as well as the junior high cheerleaders. And then, you know, definitely, you know, the high school, you know.
We'll have the high school cheerleaders and drill teams if they're available. In years past, we haven't done the junior high or don't need to add it.
I want to add them next year.
And the Red Oak baseball, football, and soccer associations.
Yes,
I don't think anybody's ever contacted them before either.
they need to.
That would be great to have one.
Yeah. Baseball, softball, any of the clubs any of the clubs.
What about the Little League teams that play in Red Oak? Some of those teams.
That's what they just said.
Yeah, that's what we just said. We want to notify the soccer association, football association, baseball, softball association, all of those people. And so any of the clubs there at the high school, Dee Guest over at the high school, I think she has a running list of all the clubs and who the contact and stuff is. So that would
On
be.
their website, I've looked into it a little bit,
Oh,
and
okay.
they have that as well.
Okay.
What about the senior citizens? On a float?
Yeah.
That's permitted.
If somebody wants to put a float together for the senior citizens, that'd be great.
You might want to contact the new director, April,
Yeah,
she's very enthusiastic, she might want to do something.
yeah, okay, so contact April for that, yeah. I know, I was excited when,
Yeah, and then she has a music thing, so she can actually have music playing
oh, yeah.
on there as well.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if any of the restaurants would want to be included.
But Chick-fil-A could bring the cow.
Huh?
Chick-fil-A could bring their cow.
Well,
And there's
you have to,
Gentleman's deal too.
you know, I mean,
We're gonna reach
how do
out.
we get Ronald McDonald from McDonald's? You know,
I don't think there's anybody we shouldn't try to reach out to. I mean, they may not be able to make it, but, you know, the more the merrier for this event. And
yeah, I don't know if McGruff, you know, is still at the police station, I don't know, so,
I'll visit with Lieutenant about that, the police report.
okay, yeah.
They may actually be helping us that day to, with the route and traffic and like
They
that.
usually do, yeah. You know, I think we need to contact the churches.
In our old fire truck.
Huh?
In our old fire truck.
Yes, our old fire truck needs to be on there, that's one reason why it was purchased.
Antique will be there.
Yes, and,
And I was
we
told,
need to include Glen Heights we need to include Ovilla,
I called Glen Heights and they wanna come,
okay?
because they're gonna have a new parks department pretty much dedicated pretty soon, and so I just called over there just to inquire, and I got the lady's name written down, but I can't remember her name. Real nice lady, visited for about 30 minutes. She goes, y'all really would want us in your parade? I said, absolutely. I was kind of surprised. I thought, yeah. I said, police, fire, whatever y'all want to bring.
Yeah, yeah. And Ovilla needs to be here, Boca Raton needs to be here.
I'm gonna visit.
I think the EMS people need to be invited. I also feel like we need to invite our sheriff's department.
I was gonna say, what about the constables?
And the constables, I have no reason why they should not be included, because they're out writing tickets, serving people, evicting people, going to court. I mean, taking smile away. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I gave you a ticket the other time.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk to the different clubs too with the high school, try to reach out ROTC, I know they do the color and everything, but making sure that they're contacted, and because it's been 2 years since the event happened.
Yeah,
And
I
so
know.
we need to make sure everybody understands that they're involved. The community-wide parade, and area-wide is what we really like, but the community is our first goal, and then we'll reach out about further as far as we can get. And we can get other folks coming for a good-sized parade.
I think any business needs to be contacted. And I also think, I still think that we need to have some kind of best float, most artistic. If we've got a Winter Wonderland theme, best theme, I think we need to do something for that. So,
Who do you want to judge, and who do you want to?
we'll pick some people to judge,
Okay.
and,
Well, where will the judges be? That's the other question we always get.
I think because I know that the
Public Works, the old.
yes, we're in that there.
I've got 10 sets of bleachers that are only 5 rows high, but we could line them up there in the driveway in the front.
Yeah,
And have.
specifically for the judges.
Yeah. And that way we could put, however many judges you have, we'll put 1 or 2 there, and then kind of give them a little area, so that way people will know that, hey, this is where the judging happens. You better be on your toes when you go by.
Hey, well, not just that. The judges should be able to go and talk to them through lineup or whatever. I just, when we participated, the Advocacy Center participated in the one in Waxahachie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what their judges did, is they came by, you didn't know they were judges. But because people were up and down, you're standing in line, and
So they previewed it before it started,
exactly, and then
they went to.
And then they were in their judges area, and it's like, oh, happy dude. Did we say something now?
Where are we gonna stage the parade at?
Ma'am?
Where are we gonna stage it at?
We're gonna stage from the church back, towards Old Downtown. Depending upon the number of registrants we get, we may need to stretch that forward out onto Red Oak Road and do an earlier, like we'll have everybody on site, but say 20 minutes before the parade kicks off, and then we'll have everybody lined up, and then, or starting to line up, and then push some of those people in the front forward, partially onto the route in order to leave enough room behind us so we don't reach the railroad tracks.
Yeah. Do we?
We're gonna have a mayor there?
He's gonna be he is the officiant of the parade. He is I was told that the mayor will always be
breakfast.
Oh, there is?
Yes. From
Oh.
7 to 11.
I see.
So if you wanted the judge to line up in front of the senior citizen building, we could,
Okay.
But how are people gonna get to the pancake breakfast?
it's from 7 to 11.
Oh, 7 to 11, okay.
Parade on first and 11.
Yeah, but they'll start lining up early,
Yeah, by 10:30, they'll start lining up, but we really need to, everybody.
depending on how many people get
About a
there.
quarter till, we need to make sure that at least 3/4 of the parade is ready to go.
Yeah. Do you think that Dean, no?
No, he's mad at the city.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
You know, it's
He told me.
you got the other parking lot over to the left.
Well, last time we had, everybody was there about an hour early. In fact, we started the parade early because of that. We had so many people just standing there.
Yeah.
They were ready to go about an hour.
If we're gonna start at 11, and then they need to, lineup needs to begin at 10:30. That way we don't have that wait around, and we will start the official parade off at 11. Hopefully, I heard Eric one year got a little excited and got him down the road and turned around. About a quarter mile behind him with the parade, and he didn't realize he was going that fast and wasn't watching behind him, so.
Have you ever thought about having it at noon?
Cause the event's already gone out to the bands and everybody else, so.
I would like to see if ROTC will carry the flag at the beginning of the parade.
Absolutely.
See if they will do that. If not, then there's a Boy Scout troop that I'm sure we can contact that will definitely do it.
Well, we need to contact the Brownies and Girl Scouts and all that, if they wanna be in the parade.
Yeah,
And they don't have to have a float, they can just walk it.
well, that's true.
There's also a center over here for, the Marines. I think it's in Washington, it's it's a recruiting center. There may be some officers there.
In what?
In Washington, on the, Marine Center?
What center?
Marine, there's a
The Marine
Marine
Corps.
recruiting center in Waxahachie
Okay.
that has, officers there,
Okay,
and they may be one to participate.
yeah. Well, and the high school, they have recruiters that come out to the high school.
Yeah.
So the ROTC out there,
We'll try to scrounge up the widest variety we've ever had.
Okay.
And I think the kickoff to this is a good parade going into a good event.
Yeah.
Because of more people will be showing up.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause when we go down, we've always opened up that street so the parade can just, so it doesn't get bottlenecked.
Correct, because we're gonna run out of room, and so like, I would like it if the band would please, make that turn right there instead of going forward, and then let a lot of the other floats and whatnot go ahead and go straight, and then go down, and we can open up the baseball gates, have them turn around down there and stage and come out later, or we can have them into part of the turnaround at the turnaround right there next to where the new city hall is gonna be.
Because in the past, we have opened up that street so they would keep going out.
We're coming the other way.
Just a parade, well, yeah, that's true, we came in the other direction.
Yeah,
We
we're
came
coming
that other
in
direction that way.
Red Oak Road into the park.
Yeah. Because that's our problem, is the bottleneck there.
Well, we can push it a little bit further down now that we can open the gate at baseball, have them go, and some folks can go and they can park all the way down there.
Yeah,
That's an additional 120 parking spaces that we didn't have before.
yeah, that's true.
And I don't know what the status is gonna be of that driveway with those additional parking around the building, so we'll see.
Okay.
looks like they're about ready to start again.
Okay. Okay. What else? Anything else on the, still got another meeting or so?
Well, we're gonna do the big stockings giveaway, or
Yes,
we're just gonna do the little ones and hand out a bunch of them?
yes.
We're gonna do both.
Do we have money, correct?
Yeah.
We have money to spend.
Yeah.
Okay, so please check on those stockings. I don't know what
We already have them written up and financed out, so we can just go ahead and look at what we'd like to actually order them.
Yeah, we wanna make sure before we propose any of this stuff that we have the money, so we're good. And then y'all just tell us, like, you just tell us whenever, whatever it is, how many prizes you wanna do for us, the big stockings, just let me know, like you said. I'll show up and pay for it, so you don't.
yeah.
That
I
way
don't
you
wanna really go shopping, but I will if you need me to.
I gotta wait for the guy to come pay for it. I said, boy, that is so nice. Pay for it for me.
I said, I got my guy coming, he's gonna pay for it, hold on a second.
And the thing of it is we got to go now, so we can get stuff
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is we're not moving way ahead because of the shortages of everything, school supplies.
Yeah,
So, and if there's anything too that we can't find that you want, or maybe you have something special you wanna put in there, we can go to Amazon and order that too. Amazon's been kind of a go-to now with a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. We can find pretty decent deals, we get a government discount, they don't charge us for shipping, and they'll just ship it directly to our office.
we will need to do backdrop though for the gazebo.
Well, what's wrong with backdrop from last year, or the year before? We bought it new.
I know, I haven't gone over there and looked. Where is all of our Christmas stuff?
We're gonna be moving it over to Hilltop tomorrow. Getting it out of the building, because whoever put it up didn't really do us any favors.
And that would have been public works.
So it's pretty messed up right now, so we're going to take it over to Hilltop because we can spread it out, take a look at it and see what we can use, where we can put it. You wanna talk about around where the tree is? That she had a wonderful idea, and I was like, I heard it and I was like, that's a really great idea. And we may not be able to do a whole lot this year, but the thing is if we start this year and build on that idea, it could be a tremendous thing for the community.
So in 2 years, the 10 foot right now?
Yeah, right now it's about 8 to 10 feet.
So the Christmas tree there right now in 2 years should be pretty decent. And so currently they have bought a fence to fence it out, white fence, make it cute. And then, so in 2 years, when it's big enough, we can extend it to an 80-foot fence around it, and convert it into Santa's Village. You're gonna potentially build a house, not a full house, but a small house that Santa potentially can sit in, kids can go, that's where they'll get their picture time with Santa. That area is right next to one of the pavilions, and we can turn that into Santa's workshop or something, and that's where kids can write letters to Santa and get in line to meet Santa, sit on his lap. If that's successful, the next years we'll keep adding Santa's Village and eventually turn it into a full-on village with Santa's fire station, Santa's FedEx shop, Santa's whatever.
Cool. That's great idea, yeah. Very good.
But we did start with, this year, we went ahead and ordered over the summer, I believe it's a 40-inch, wrought iron fence. That will go completely around the tree.
Okay.
And then we'll light everything up. It's not anything grand right now, but we're taking pretty good care of that tree, and we're trying to make sure that it's gonna grow.
Yeah.
And it should double in size, from where it's at right now in the next 2 years, and then, depending upon its growth habits, it should be something to speak about, and within 5 years, it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep fertilizing it and monitoring it and trimming it and doing what we need to do to keep it in shape. We did go ahead and run electrical, a box up to the base, close to the tree. We know we'll have to eventually move that box backwards, but it's got enough power in there that we could run everything that we need to run inside of the inside of where the fenced area will be, and
Uh-huh.
we went ahead and put everything underground.
Awesome.
So, but we just wanted to be something special, and every year we can kind of talk about where we want to go with the new, what are we going to do to add to what we just did last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually that whole front up there would be like the Stanley's Wonderland, or whatever we wanted to call it, or wanted it to be. We just make it into that, so that way it's part of the community, and hopefully people will be willing to come over here and take pictures and everything like that.
Well, and with the thing that we talked about the last meeting, purchasing the rings.
I'll stay free.
The ice skating rink?
Yes.
Well, I talked about that with city management and with some of the council members. Great idea. It's just, this year is not a good time.
No,
But
not
in the
this year.
future, yeah. And so we really need to revisit that probably in about 4 months.
Okay.
We really need to look at that. That's when we want to do our reservations and our pre-planning.
Yeah, we said we couldn't do it this year.
And then that puts us right before budget. And so we're 6 months away from our budgeting time.
Okay.
So in 4 months, if we start on that, that'll give us enough time to get our pricing and figure out what we want out of that and what we need to ask in order for that to happen.
And we can add to it the following year as well, yes?
Sure.
I mean,
And
we don't have to get
Yeah,
the
we can do
biggest
whatever you guys want to do that you feel like, hey, this is the direction that, we feel the community needs to go. That's what we'll do.
Okay. Yeah. Because that guy's from Canada, yeah?
Yes, he is kind of.
I have connections up there. How, Carbon, how, involved do they want to be?
Who's that?
Carbon?
Trying to resist.
What's that?
Trying to resist.
Yeah. We're trying to be Carbon.
Don't know. How interested y'all want them to be? How involved? Major sponsor?
I think all I keep hearing is they want to be involved in the community.
Okay.
And so I think we need to,
do that.
yeah,
Well,
we can,
and probably you, me,
get
and
them all.
some of the other members of the board need to go and schedule a meeting with them and just kind of gauge their level of interest and find out where they fit in with, what the community is. And so,
Well, now, Maria, you already got to go visit that place. Did you go when, the other group of people went?
She wasn't on
You
the
didn't
board
go?
yet.
That's why you check the windows, but that's,
There was an invited list of people. And your husband and your name was on it. And I'm going, really? Anyway, I can go back and look and see.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I have not been out there.
You didn't go?
I wasn't invited.
Horse board was invited because I went.
Well, I'm open to going when we go.
Your name would have to be on that list.
I went.
Okay.
They went too.
For Carbon,
No, it was the other one.
Bombardier?
Mhm.
Oh, I see Bombardier. I'm in now at Bombardier, and I'm talking, Bombardier is out of Canada. And, no, this is Carbon, because Triumph's not there anymore.
No.
This is the building behind that where Triumph used to be. This is Carbon. And Carbon gave a tour and all this other kind of stuff. I'll send you that email.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, I will do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we can schedule a meeting with one of their representatives, and then we'll put an invite out so everybody can come.
Okay. Yeah, there were certain people invited, and anyway.
All right.
Has
Anything
anybody
else?
been to
that event hall that's here? That's in Red Oak, the new one that they built. Has anybody been there or been invited to come go there?
Where?
The Dallas Oasis.
The one that's right off 35. What's the name of it? The really nice one that they just built over here by us.
Dallas Oasis, the event venue.
I don't think that's the name of it. It's right off 35. The new one. It's white. They just made this next to the gas, not too far from the gas stations off the service road.
The Hampton venue?
Yes. I mean, they're always having events. I mean, maybe if they want to be involved in some of the stuff that we have, they're always having events there.
I have not even seen a list, nor have I gotten any information as to who to contact, even to see that venue or anything, and I have been by there many times.
The Chamber of Commerce has reached out to them, and they have not contacted them or had
Yeah, they've not had any
They're not a
interest.
good community partner.
They're also extremely out of our price range.
Really?
Yes, they're very expensive. Yes.
They're about this.
Oh yeah, it's very expensive because I asked about pricing. It's expensive over there.
Huh.
And that's why it's always empty.
Huh?
That's why it's always empty when I see it.
Well, I don't know, but
Okay. Anything else on the Christmas event that we need to bring up for this meeting?
not for this.
No, but do you think I need to go get the stuff for the stockings pretty
Yes,
quick?
ma'am. Yeah, as soon as,
I gotta see where I got it. I know I've got one stocking at home
okay.
that we
Yeah,
didn't
if
get
we
rid of.
want to, we can try to order the stockings online.
We ordered
Bring
them
them in,
from,
because my credit card is maxed out right now. We're in
you
the,
better
we're
take care of
in
that,
the
'cause I'm
middle of
going
a,
shopping.
what's that?
You better take care of that, I'm going shopping.
You're gonna have to wait until probably 2 more weeks. Because we're in the middle of a credit card switchover, and I don't know exactly what point mine comes into play. So, I'm actually maxed out.
Just get Todd.
The gold card?
Huh?
The gold card? I'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, 2 weeks is fine, but we ordered the stockings from, ABC, or, what's that?
Oriental Tree.
What?
Oriental Tree.
Right. At least give me, I've got it home. Cause I know my grandson won one of them, and somebody else won one of them, and they gave me the stockings back.
I'm pretty sure I have receipts from almost everything that was purchased last year.
So I need to go look in the box and see how much I got there. I'll let you know.
Yeah, get with me whenever you're ready, or call me and let me know, and I'll tell you if we're good or not
Okay.
with the card. And as soon as it's ready, we'll go shop.
Are you-
All right, you shop, I'll take it.
I like the sound of that. Okay, discuss and finalize the 2022 Red Oak Kids Catch a Trout Fishing Event. Excuse me. Look at your park board agenda, read what it says, and how would you like for us to help you?
With this event, I need some pretty faces and friendly folks that can help us be our judges, and can also help us to hand out the awards and to be the face of the parks.
I'll be the face of the park and hand out the awards, but do not get me to bait a hook, catch a fish,
You don't
catch
have
a
to do that.
fish, nothing. I don't do that.
We'll have some folks here that'll help with that.
Okay,
I met with Texas Parks and Wildlife on Friday. We committed to buy 2,000 trout that they will release that week
awesome.
ahead of the event, so the trout will be hungry by the time the event happens. Since this is our second year into the program, the regional director committed an additional 500 trout to us for that week.
Awesome.
So 2,500 trout will be put in there. He said that'll guarantee that most kids will, if they're even putting bait on there, he said they're going to catch their limit. So
Wow.
Pretty fun. So it may end up being a deal where they're just going to have to we'll have to find a way to count these fish for them where they can keep up, because we broke it down. We looked at several other cities that do fishing events like this, and we broke it into 3 categories. The minnows, which are the 4 to 6 year olds, the sunfish are 7 to 9, and the bass category is the 10 to 12 year olds for the prizes. And so, I'm going to meet with Academy Sports and Outdoors and see if they are going to be a willing participant with fishing equipment as a sponsor. We don't have a title sponsor for this, so if they wanted to do that, then I certainly expect a lot out of them.
Yeah.
Let's see what they can bring to the table for us. And then I'm going to reach out to the local chapter of the Parks and Wildlife. They have angler education. I don't really want them to be here to do a fishing class because those classes are long and drawn out. I would rather him be here to help the kids, to give them quick lessons on fishing for trout and have bait ready in case, because folks are going to show up. I'm hoping that we'll get enough sponsorship out of the Academy that we'll get fishing gear, poles, and things like that for every kid that shows up.
Okay, so what kind of, a dollar estimate?
For which part?
To be, if you want to be premier sponsor. If you want to be the main sponsor, are we asking 5,000, 10,000?
I would say probably about $2,500. That would get
2,500 plus equipment?
Well, either that or, I mean, we've got the financial part of this is fairly close to being taken care of. But if we want to go after and pursue sponsorships like that, yeah, I would say 2,500 with the equipment, or just 5,000 flat out. You can be the title sponsor of the event.
Yeah.
And then we could take on probably 2 other category sponsors that would not be competitors of that. So we wouldn't go to Dick's Sporting Goods to compete up against Academy on if they were to do something such as a title sponsor.
So do the kids bring their own equipment?
A lot of kids will bring their own equipment, and that's the thing that we encourage them, if they have it, to bring it, and then we will hand out equipment to them. We'll know more probably 2 weeks before, like right at the beginning of January. We'll know exactly what we need to tell them, whether they need to bring their own equipment, or if we had a sponsor that's going to hand out, they would come up with the first 100 kids are going to get a fishing pole and a tackle box or something along that line. And then that will help them out. Also, we need to make sure that we have the right equipment for the kids, even the ones that bring their own poles. A lot of them are probably not going to bring the right size hooks, not going to bring the right bait and stuff like that. So we can help them out with that, making sure that we have the right equipment to share with them when it comes down to fishing for trout.
Okay.
Smallmouths, they're finicky, but when they're hungry, they'll bite just about anything. So I think that'll be very helpful. And then the number of trout that we're putting in there, last year we did 1,500, and then this year it's 2,500. So that's yeah.
I was here. I was here when they jumped them. It was interesting. It was so neat.
Yeah.
Do you have a date on that? Day doesn't happen.
The day?
On the kids camp?
January the 15th is the Saturday, the second Saturday, and I'm sorry, it's the third Saturday in January.
That's the day of the event, or that's the day they're bringing the fish?
That's the day of the event. Now, depending on the weather and the temperature, that's when they'll decide on when to bring the fish. If it's warm, they'll probably bring them on Thursday night. If we have a little bit cooler or it's cold, they'll probably bring them on Wednesday, sometime early in the morning to drop them off, because that means that they'll give them their 48 to 72-hour acclimation period when they start getting extremely active.
I just want to be here again when they jump them.
Okay. When we find out when they're coming, we'll definitely invite you so you can come and see how they offload. With that many fish, they'll be bringing a trailer this time instead of the truck tank.
Yeah.
Okay, on 2A, you say any species of fish caught. But down here, you say it's for trout fishing only, and only trout will count.
I made a mistake. 2A, you said?
Right.
So they catfish out there too?
There is, well, we don't know right now what's out there. The last time this was stocked was in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
The fish have been heavily fished, so they don't know what's out there. And with COVID, the Parks and Wildlife couldn't come out here to drop they have to take a boat with two electrical poles on the side. They'll drop them in the water and they'll net. They'll go across and make so many passes. They'll judge by how many feet that they traveled and what speed they were going and the number of fish they catch. If they're oversized, undersized, or not enough. And then they'll start restocking from there. So we're part of that program. So with us participating, buying the trout, they will absolutely come through for us with others.
So which one is it? Is it any fish caught or just
No,
trout?
because we're changing this to a trout only, so we're gonna do like we do like the most fish caught and maybe the biggest overall, because there is some size variation in these. Some of them are quite small and barely 10 inches, and some of them are 14 to 16 inches. And that's another thing we can ask them too, is if they wouldn't mind putting in some larger trout in there, not necessarily the entire bat, but maybe they drop in 200 additional trout that are larger than what we're expecting. That way that you'll get a size variation that's enough that maybe a kid catches a fish that's like this versus one that's like that. So it's a definite difference in size.
Okay, is there a video or something that I can watch of one of these events that have taken place?
Yeah, you can go online and just put in trout fishing, kid fish. South Texas, down at the basin of the Guadalupe River, outside of New Braunfels, they've got a year-round trout fishing program there. They do trout stocking because the water coming out of Canyon Dam is coming out at about 50 degrees. So the trout survive very well in that water.
Oh, wow,
So I
okay.
don't know if you've ever been down the Guadalupe River in the Braunfels area. The water's ice cold. It's almost miserable.
I've been to New Braunfels, but I've not been to the river. I don't
So
get
yeah,
any
look
place.
online. You can find lots of information about it and some videos about what they do.
I don't have a clue, so yes, I will
Okay.
study it.
That'll work.
I mean, what kind of spot, you said there was gonna be,
And then the sponsors, we're going to also ask for prizes for the kids.
yeah,
So something special from them on that, whether that be a prize pack where they just get an academy bag and put 4 or 5 nice items in it and say, here you go, here's your prize pack.
yeah,
So they're going to end up needing to have for the categories, 3 categories times, I don't know if you want to do, I don't know if you do the largest fish by weight or largest fish by length.
well, this says the largest trout will be determined by weight.
So we go by weight. So we'll have to ask them to bring some scales. There's some portable scales, so if the kid catches a pretty good sized one. And the kids can keep 5 trout.
Wow, okay,
That's the legal limit per day on this event.
okay,
And the kids that are fishing will not have to have fishing licenses. Their parents, if they grab the fishing pole and assist them, which they are not allowed to in these type of contests, then they are actually in violation of the law because they're considered fishing at that point.
oh, Lord.
So the whole idea is that these parents will help these kids, but not necessarily fish for them. Because I don't expect to have a 4-year-old out there that's going to be able to do it all by himself. But you need to help that kid learn. And that's what this experience is about, is getting these kids outside again, getting them out there to fish. These fish are going to be hungry, active, ready to catch, so it should be a good time for them.
Okay, yeah.
Check-in will be at 8 o'clock. The fishing will begin at 9, and the fishing ends at 11. And once we hand out the prizes, after the winners are determined, then the event is over. That's a fairly quick event. It's not a big event, not a whole lot of additional things going on, but We can look at having some of the sponsors like bring stuff up to show stuff.
Yeah.
That's the best thing is for them to bring and show and tell, and hopefully the angler group will, from Parks and Wildlife, the volunteers from their group will bring all their setups like they will do normally for a class, but break it out to where it's not a full class, but rather people can get questions answered and get a little bit more interested in fishing.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, we got a little bit of ways to go on that. What do you need me to do? What do you need us to do?
For this event right now, nothing. We'll get more into the details at the next meeting.
Okay.
We're kind of working our way in a little bit further on each one of these. And so that's kind of like you'll see, that's where we're going to start leading to. And that's why when we get to February's event, we're just going to do some minor discussion. And then every month we'll get deeper into it until we have everything resolved before the event.
Okay. Perfect. Anybody have any questions on the fish event? Okay.
Not I.
Questions? Yes, Sam, Chappelle?
No questions on my end.
Okay. Now remember, we can't say nothing to the public about this fish and when the fish are gonna get dumped and when this is gonna happen or anything. Remember, we can't do that yet. Can't get it
Parks and
out.
Wildlife will work with us. They won't get
Only
it.
person that stays out there is this one guy I see all the time. I never see anybody else over there. He might be all right. It's just one guy that goes and fish when I see him when I'm walking.
So we'll announce that we have trout in the pond essentially through the event. People are gonna know, but what they're not gonna know is when. And there will be no fishing allowed the day of the event until 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Moving on to number D, discuss and make decisions on the Touch a Truck event.
Okay, for anybody who doesn't know what Touch a Truck is an opportunity for us to put kids with the opportunity of going hands-on with vehicles and apparatuses and different career paths possibly that they didn't have before or didn't know existed. We'll ask police, fire, military, cities, every kind of vehicle that we could possibly put on display that kids would have an interest in. Whoever displays has to allow the participants to actually be able to put their hands on the vehicle and sit in it or whatever. And that means if we get a helicopter to come in, if we get, Air Flight or somebody that's willing to land a helicopter, they got to be able to be willing to allow kids to get up close, not necessarily touch those type of vehicles, but get up close. And a lot of times they will let them kind of walk along the side and look at them. Mm-hmm. That way they're not doing any damages. And I realize when we do that, the Air Flight's on call all the time. So during the middle of the event, they may say, hey, I need everybody to back up 200 feet. We got to go.
Yeah. Okay. What about our trash company, community?
They're going to,
are they going to participate?
Yes, they will be bringing a trash truck, or they will not be picking up our trash.
Oh, really? We got a different company?
Yeah, we did. I kind of talked about this with somebody else about some of the locals, and yes, they are very willing to be participants in the community. So they have a trash truck that generally goes out to these type of events. Like it's not going to smell and whatnot. It's going to be a very, very clean vehicle that they'll bring out. So yes,
okay.
There should be a nice looking, clean garbage truck at the event.
Okay, perfect. Do you have a date for that event?
Ma'am?
Do you have a date for that event?
Yes, ma'am. That event is February the 12th, and the event will be from 9 a.m. to 11. We have not determined a location yet. So I don't know. That was one of the questions is TSPC willing to be a participant? And we also have overflow into the high school if the agreement goes through the next city council.
Yes.
This is new.
This is 9 to noon.
I'm
He said
sorry.
11. Didn't he?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, 9 to noon, my bad. You're correct.
9 to noon. I already told Marcus we're doing it, so.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I said, fine, we'll do the lemon and we'll do the touch of truck. So,
And then I guess the last event that we were gonna talk about was, for today is this Easter event. What do we wanna do? Easter is on Sunday, April the 17th this year.
yes.
We need to decide what type of event we wanna have and what time we want to attempt and where would we like to go after, so we can make the reservations in that park now. So that way, nobody else can kind of take over. Whether we do it here and do it out front in one of the open fields or somewhere else.
So we went to have it at Watkins Park on the north side.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the Easter egg hunt, because I'm gonna have to start stuffing the egg.
Now, we're gonna buy already pre-stuffed eggs. We're not gonna stuff eggs anymore. We're gonna buy them pre-done.
Okay.
And that way we don't have to worry about that. Save your hands.
So I can get rid of all of them I got sitting at home. I got probably 2,000 eggs sitting in my house.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! I have my sword building back.
And then
Don't say
so
it.
we don't have to have any answers on the discussion, but just try to, if y'all would please be thinking about this so we could have an answer for the next meeting. Like I said, so every meeting, we'll kind of work our way forward into these events, and this one's the icebreaker on the Easter event, and that way we 6 months out and we're working into it.
So Easter is on April the 10th, right?
17th.
17th. So you probably have it at Wednesday, the 13th.
Ma'am?
So you'll probably have it again on the 13th.
We have it on the Wednesday.
13th.
I don't know, it's 13th, we always have it on Wednesday. Or,
Yeah, so it would be on Wednesday the 13th.
now, I usually get a fax from the guy who we always buy the eggs from. And he still charges us the same, well, he did. Last year charged us the same price as he did 4 or 5 years ago when I ordered from him.
Okay, we're gonna be buying pre-stuff, so we won't need to have any, every time he has pre-stuff.
Oh, yeah, he does the pre-stuff ones, and then I just did the recycled ones. He has candy ones and he has toy ones.
Can you give me information and then so we can reach out to him?
As soon as he sends me the email.
Okay. And another thing that we might consider, we've got some new options is, if you really wanted to do something different, you could consider having the Easter egg hunts on the different baseball, softball fields. You could put the eggs out there, lock the gates, and then potentially have the kids line up along the fence and then let them go at one time. It gives you a little bit more access control.
Would you do it all at one time or just a time?
Well, each group would go at a different time.
Because reason why they don't do it, because they're not, some parents have kids here, some have them there.
Correct. No,
Well, and that's why when we did it on the south side of Watkins Park, that's why it was always, we had the special events and then the babies went, and then this group went, and that group went, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we've
could
always
actually
talked
put
about-
all these, spread the eggs and just keep the gate locked. That way nobody can get in, and then what we'll do is we'll allow folks in, like the kids or whatever in, and then we can have them line up wherever you wanted to, and then one at a time, or one grade group at a time, start them off. I mean, I'm just saying that, you can consider that, and, I'm sure we can work with the league since it's a Wednesday, and they shouldn't be having practices on a Wednesday night.
Be surprised. if-
Maybe we can let the parents out. Maybe we don't make the parents stay behind the gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, keep the parents from interfering with
Well,
the
they're the worst part of it.
And we're
I
not-
think that, if we did this, but that way, that would also help eliminate that.
You were full last week, you had a parent, two parents out on the the 8-year-old field trying to help their kids get an egg.
Yeah, that's not fair to the other kids.
Now, even with the prepackaged, will we still have ones that have the, fried to it?
I don't know yet, we haven't gotten that far to it.
Because we usually, when she prepackaged, certain ones had prizes that they would come and retrieve. With the prepackaged, we won't be able to do that.
Correct.
No, but I have enough that I can
Do some.
do some. Did y'all keep any of the eggs from last year?
Now, we get money, y'all give to the daycare at the end of the.
That's right. No, I'm talking about, nobody brought any back to be recycled. Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other kind of update?
The city council did approve the playground for, Watkins / ball field / city hall in the triangle. Just to give you an idea of the size of that playground, double and a half the size of this room is the area in which the playground is set. The big playground, and we'll have a walkway around it. Council they approved everything that we proposed, but they rejected the fence, for temporary purposes. They don't want a chain link fence, they'd like to just put in a wrought iron fence around the facility. So they said, proceed with what you got, they'll give us a price, let us know what the price is on that and bring it back to us, because we would like this to look a little bit higher end than putting a chain link fence around it, because the fence is necessary because of proximity to parking lots, walkways, and other activities going on in those areas. What that'll do is allow the parents to actually go inside the play area with the kids. We'll have a few benches and whatnot in there for them, and they can sit, relax, and enjoy, and not have to worry about little Johnny running out and going down the street, or running out and going somewhere.
What? And this thing already been figured out, but what about people's dogs? They're gonna be allowed to take the dogs, but.
Dogs are not permitted in any of the playgrounds. And that's the same thing, as dogs are not permitted in any of our pets, are not permitted in any of our sports complexes, sports fields. I had that conversation with 4 or 5 people this weekend. I don't care how unpleasant they are or how upset they are. We're not going to allow the dogs in there, because a dog does not know the difference between somebody who's in competition with each other in a sport. People that they mistake people for being angry and upset, so they become heightened, and then they too begin to go on the attack mode. And that's where, over the last years, that's where they've realized they've had problems. So same thing with the playground, the kids fast moving and whatnot playing, they don't need to have a dog in there with them, because that dog too will mistake a kid as something that he's wanting to play.
Once you start, if you did let dogs in, at some point, it could be a disaster. It's like
I totally agree.
Yeah,
It will be.
dog fight going on.
So we'll have 6-foot walkways that'll traverse the entire playground, so that way you can maneuver yourself around, and then there will be a walkway which will go across the rock road into the park, and then it'll have safeguards there, where traffic will have to stop for pedestrians, and then we'll have a walkway which will go to the parking lot on the southeast side of what will be the new city hall. So that is going to start, we anticipate construction starting in January, and with a timeline of 5 weeks for start to finish. So we should have some sort of grand opening at either early to mid-March.
Is that gonna be open for all the kids, or just during baseball?
All kids.
Okay.
It's an open playground, and the playground that's on the other end, that's behind the restrooms, will be, the swings will stay, the play parts, components, or whatever that are there that are aged out and can't be assessed because of age. If it gets so old, the inspector will not inspect them anymore because he can just throw his measure gauge on there immediately. It's in violation, so they won't even do it. All those components go out, and those are destroyed and removed. City council asked that we take a look at what we can do inside of there, like the swings are in good shape and they're newer. They can stay, they're further away, but we're looking at possibility of adding some, I guess suggestions brought up some, workout equipment, some, body weight resistant, workout equipment for people that want to do a cycle around like you will go walk around the trail or jog around, come back, go cycle through the workout system, and then go back, and then look at adding to removing some of the older components, the wooden ones that are out on the walking trail there at Watkins, and replacing those with some modern pieces. Don't want to get away from them because they're extremely popular, but we would like to upgrade them into a more, I guess, I don't know how to put it, I don't know.
We had asked
They're aged out since what happened.
we had written Scott and White a letter to see if they would sponsor, any of that.
But didn't we get it in past their budget? Or too late to go in for their budget, was it?
For that year, but the lady said that they would consider it for the next year, and the following year, they weren't interested. So we've got new people down there, so we want to try
We'll
that.
reach out, our economic development director's on their board of directors now, so so that helps, having somebody on the inside to be able to talk to folks there. And also, we have a group here that there's some grant money that's floating around right now for the COVID and the regeneration of people, trying to get people active outside. So we've been talking with a couple of groups about possibly them sponsoring us in order to get some of the grant money. It would be probably about $25,000 towards some additional features. But for us to redo everything up underneath where the old, right now we call, I guess, the old playground is setting, to do that and then to add 4 other components into the park is about $180,000.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap.
No. No, it's not. So, when you look at the dog stuff, we are running into a lot of people that are saying that they have to have their dog, and if, they've got that, you know what I'm talking about?
An ESA dog?
Yeah, a comfort animal is not, a comfort animal is a pet. A comfort animal is not an ADA protected, pet, so they can make all the claims they want that it was out my little PP comfort dog, I can't. Well, I've got 3 questions I can ask them by law that ask them to judge whether or not that dog is necessary for them in order to be there.
Right.
A comfort dog is not. And so.
I know, but we're running into it with students trying to, bring their dog.
Bring the dog to class.
Yes, because in order for this child to function, this child has got this.
If the dog has not been trained specifically to perform a function in which somebody has a disability in, it's a pet.
Yeah, well,
and by law, our attorney reviewed this 2 months ago, and Bob went over this and said, nope, he said, because we had folks bringing them in their purse saying, oh, this is my comfort dog.
Yeah.
And my dog is going to go in here and she's going into the game with me, and you can't stop me. And I'm like, I'm not going to stop you, you're correct. If you choose to go in there, then I have no choice but to call law enforcement, and they'll come in and ask you to leave. If you don't refuse, then they will issue a criminal trespass and ask you to leave. Or actually forcibly make you leave.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever get to that, but there's some people that will go that far.
Yeah.
And I just, take the approach that, hey, you know, I have the blessing of the council and the city leadership. It's up to me to be courteous and friendly to them and to make the right approach, because if I don't, then things go south right away.
Oh,
I
definitely.
mean, they can always go south at any point, but, you know, I don't want to be the reason why it happens. I don't want to be the cause of that spark that blows it up.
So the terminology for that is, they need to have a specific, do they not need to have license for those dogs?
You can't ask them for that either. But the dog is, and you can ask them what the dog has been specifically trained, because the reason you can't ask them about license or whatever is it's an invasion of the person's privacy, because if they have a disability, they don't have to disclose the disability, but they do have to show that the dog has been trained. And then a lot of the ones that have been, they generally people don't have a problem. They'll normally have some sort of ID badge or something on the dog stating that the dog is a seeing-eye dog, or, you know, whatever their disability is, and it's not just a comfort animal.
And there used to be, that's all we ran into is people who had seeing eye dogs or hearing, you know, those special dogs. But that's not the case anymore.
Right, and with all the military actions we've seen over the last 30 years, there's been a tremendous amount of them that, I had a friend of mine that had a dog that went with him everywhere, and that's because he in an instant could just snap and become something, and I don't know how that dog knew. That dog knew when he was fixing to flip the switch, and would absolutely just latch on his leg, and like basically tell him, whatever you're doing, you've got to break yourself out of that now.
Yeah.
So I had some doubts that these dogs could do stuff like that, but I've seen it firsthand. So.
Oh, yeah.
But a comfort dog is just a pet, and that's completely what the city attorney.
And I understand that, but I was referring to the ones that are legit. Because we have some veterans going to school that have the PTSD and stuff, and
it's now a felony to claim your dog to be something that is not.
Oh, wow.
So if you're claiming your dog is a trained dog, for whatever training that you're claiming the dog to have, and they can prove that you're lying to them, and they have to be to law enforcement. And at that point, then you could be arrested for a felony.
Wow.
It's gotten very serious because of the number of people that were claiming, particularly at airports, that, oh, this dog, this is my trained dog, he's a cadaver dog, and he goes everywhere with me. And it's just an effort to cut down on that.
They had some that came with exotic animals, started claiming they were something more animals.
So, we've gone through and we met with our attorneys because of that, and then the other thing that we met with was about House Bill 1927, which is the Open Carry Act.
Yep.
Cities were excluded from that, so the cities cannot make any rules which keep somebody from bringing a weapon with them, a legally carried weapon, anywhere they want to go. Only time they can't go is you see the signs out front, and this is a public meeting. They cannot come in this room. They can come in this hallway. They can go to the restrooms. They can be in the building, but they can't come into the room while we're having the meeting.
Yeah.
As far as the parks and playing games and sporting events, every other sporting event covered but youth sports. You can open carry, you can conceal carry. You cannot prohibit them from carrying to any youth sports event. If it's a school event or if it's a professional event, then yes, they can prevent you, but not a youth sport. So the city has no rights to do that.
Adults can get so worked up about their kids.
Wow. Wow.
Well, that's all that I have.
Well, on that joyous news.
Well, yes.
Anybody have anything else? No? No? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
And, wait a second. Okay, 8:40, meeting ended. Thank you. Chappelle?
She's gone.
She's gone?
Yeah, she dropped off about 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, you can turn everything off now, we're done.